If you played Pokémon Red and Blue, you probably still have phantom memories of Mount Moon. You step out of the daylight, the screen goes dark, and you are immediately trapped in a maze of endless random encounters. Looking at this pie chart of the game's encounter tables, you can see the mathematical root of the problem. On the first floor of Mount Moon, players faced a 79% chance of running into exactly one species, Zubat. Every few steps, your progress halted to fight the same screeching bat. You were not exactly catching a powerhouse either. In Generation 1, Zubat was statistically weak. It had a pathetic base special stat of 40, lacked powerful poison or flying moves, and fainted to practically any attack that hit it. It leaves you wondering, why would any player choose to keep this nuisance in their party? To understand that, we have to look at how Zubat operates at its lowest point, and how that setup builds an actual underdog story. The developers engineered Zubat to be annoying by looking directly at nature. They based its behavior entirely on the real-world biology of limestone cave ecosystems. Zubat is specifically designed as a troglobite, an animal adapted to dark caves. Its swarming behavior mimics real-world free-tailed bats, which form enormous, densely packed colonies that completely cover cave ceilings. Because it lives in pitch blackness, Zubat lost its eyes over time. To navigate, it relies entirely on echolocation, emitting high-frequency ultrasonic sound waves from its mouth to detect obstacles and track its insect prey. This diagram illustrates exactly how Game Freak translated that biological reality into a nightmare gameplay loop. Those ultrasonic waves become the in-game moves Supersonic and Confuse Ray. The bat disorients you mechanically, just as it navigates acoustically. By staying strictly true to nature, the game designers built a creature perfectly calibrated to halt your progress. This creates the specific frustration necessary for a dramatic redemption. The path to that redemption usually starts when a player imposes strict rules on themselves. In hardcore challenge runs, like a Nuzlocke, you can only catch the very first Pokémon you encounter in an area. Often, that means you are stuck with Zubat. Forced to actually use it, you enter a grueling training arc. You have to carefully swap it in and out of battles, slowly accumulating experience points until it finally hits level 22. At that level, it evolves into Golbat. It gets significantly bigger, grows a massive set of fangs, and becomes hematophagous, meaning it survives by actively sucking the blood of its opponents. But if you just keep grinding experience points against wild Pokémon, Golbat will never grow any further. The traditional leveling system completely stops working. You cannot brute force the next stage of its potential. The game mechanics suddenly demand that you change how you treat the Pokémon entirely. Starting in Generation 2, the developers introduced a hidden background stat called Friendship. To raise this hidden number, you have to keep Golbat in your party as you walk around the map. You have to give it stat-boosting vitamins, equip it with a Soothe Bell, and, crucially, you must protect it from fainting in battle. You cannot force this evolution by fighting. You have to patiently invest time and care into the exact same creature that used to drive you insane in Mount Moon. The developers took the classic power of friendship trope and baked it directly into the code. In this system, empathy replaces raw combat experience as the specific requirement for this evolution. Once that friendship stat maxes out and you level it up one more time, Golbat transforms into Crobat. This bar chart shows exactly what you earn for your patience. Crobat gains functional eyes, a second set of wings, and a staggering base speed stat of 130. It immediately outpaces almost everything else in the game. Watching this chart expand, we can see how that 130 speed dictates Crobat's dominance in competitive Smogon play. Paired with an attack-boosting Adamant or Jolly Nature, it becomes a deadly physical sweeper. It utilizes moves like Brave Bird to hit hard, and U-turn to pivot out of danger before the opponent can even react. The competitive community quickly caught on to this drastic statistical jump. A popular sentiment across forums summarizes the arc perfectly. Scumbag Zubat, awesome Crobat. Dread has turned into dependency. The cavern nuisance is now an indispensable anchor for your team. Decades later, that success extends far beyond the main story campaigns. In the trading card game, Zubat and its evolutions have seen massive competitive play, appearing as key components in multiple World Championship decks. And in modern titles, the hunt continues. Players spend hours utilizing backup saves and shiny charms just to track down its rare alternate color variants. The developers took the most annoying mechanic in their original game and tied its redemption directly to a player's capacity for patience, securing Zubat's legacy as the franchise's greatest underdog.